around the world.
As we enter Secretary Kerry's final time here, in your assessment, do you believe he has made us here at home in the U.S. safer and more broadly the world safer during his time?
Oh, absolutely, I do, and I believe American foreign policy and our foreign policy priorities, our foreign policy achievements, have helped make the American people safer. Look at the Iran deal, for instance. We now have a deal in place, and it is being implemented by all sides, that will preclude Iran from ever achieving nuclear weapons capability. And there's an inspection regime in place that's the most rigorous ever enacted. And an Iran without nuclear weapons capability, I think we can all agree, no matter what side of the aisle you're on or on the issue that you're on, is better to deal with, even an Iran that is still conducting destabilizing activities, and they are, than one that is also doing that with the capability of having nuclear weapons. Look at the Paris Agreement. More than 140 nations signed up for a robust, historically robust climate change agreement that, if everybody meets their obligations, has a real chance at getting us to slow the global warming rate and get below that 2 degrees centigrade level. And the Pentagon itself has said and called climate change a national security threat. That's not just the State Department. The Pentagon has said that. And so thanks to Secretary Kerry's leadership at working through the Paris Agreement and really helping bring people to the table and getting it signed, we're on a path now to reduce the threat posed by the rising temperatures on the planet. Look at what we were able to do with Ebola in Africa, where they were predicting 1 million deaths, and the president made some courageous decisions to put military troops on the ground down there and other experts to try to stem that, because that epidemic could have spread wildly, not just throughout the continent, but perhaps throughout the world, causing untold instability and insecurity. Look at Secretary Kerry's leadership in mounting a now 67, 68 member coalition to counter Daesh in Iraq and Syria. That coalition was fashioned here by the State Department, by Secretary Kerry. General Allen, I think you might remember, was the first presidential special envoy for that coalition. And he and Brett McGurk, who is now the special envoy, took on the monumental task of cobbling together this coalition, which still exists. It's the largest international coalition I think that's ever existed, and it's having real success and real progress on degrading and defeating this group. So, long answer, but yes, Secretary Kerry has, over the course of his tenure, helped make Americans safer here at home and safer abroad. And obviously that's an extension of the foreign policy agenda that this administration has pursued.
So you've just named some things he's very proud of. Any areas he feels he could have done better in?
I think if you were to ask the secretary, he would be the first to tell you that he's obviously frustrated by where we are in Syria, and that our diplomatic efforts have not been successful in terms of getting us to a political transition where the voice of the Syrian people can be heard and can realize a better, safer, unified Syria. That doesn't mean that over the next few weeks, and I'd remind you, he still has a month in office, that he's not going to keep at it and keep trying to get us there. But I think he would tell you that that's one area that he wishes we could have been more successful a lot sooner.
John, can I ask you about the